how much, we do back home. I mean, it was probably like a, good 2-3 minute conversation
Okay.
of the specifics that needed to be done. And I did that out of panic because I needed to get it fixed. I didn't want to put it on Craigslist because people say call me or this and they upcharge and we need to replace the whole section and things like that.
And did he tell you like what he would charge you, or did you just say this is how much I'm willing to pay?
No, I just immediately said that I was going to give a donation, like in the terms of I didn't really have a lot to give you, but can you like hook me up? But I kind of was like, can you like hook me up like that? Being more of like a please do this for me. I really need it. Like I don't have a lot of money.
Like a favor.
Yeah, I mean, because if he's on the job working and he makes so much an hour and can make an extra $50 that day, that was 150 might turn into 200.
Gotcha.
So in my mind of thinking of doing that was back to the times that Holly's dad would do the same thing. He would be like, don't go pay a subcontractor. Just go get someone who wants to work after hours, or whatever. And so that was my thought process. That'd be cheaper, faster. Someone will come do it right away, and then we're done with the situation.
Okay. So, what did you tell him as far as like how to get into the house and stuff like that?
What do you mean how to get? I just gave him the garage code.
Okay.
And I explained where the carpet needed to be replaced. So, I mean,
okay.
There's no like when you enter the home, there's no like specifics. You just upstairs, downstairs. That's it.
Okay. So you told him it was downstairs and kind of the area that it was in, or
you walk downstairs, you would have saw it.
Okay.
Like it wouldn't have been like you needed to go search for it. I mean, that's common sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying you common sense. I'm saying to the person that's common sense, like, oh, that's carpet, Because see, I had took the rug right here when I showed the police when they came. I had took the rug and put like a piece of carpet that was on it. But the problem with the piece of carpet that was on it was that was a piece of carpet that was from the outside.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we walk on it. And
it was like an extra piece.
Right. And I mean, sure, they could have, used the same carpet, but I needed a carpet to fit a specific size. So if someone had extra carpet, then why not go ahead and fix the whole thing, Sure. And we could have a little extra roll for hopefully if there's ever an emergency or anything like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought that there would have been some somewhere. Like,
in your house?
Right.
Okay.
Because, like sometimes, I knew like when we had our home, we sold it, we left our square, what are they called? The hardwood floors. And we left like maybe like 10 little sheets and things like that. So like I thought, but in my mind, like, okay, no, I'm just going to go. I hadn't seen anything, so I had to, go find it. Yeah.
Okay.
And you act so much differently when you're trying to be impulsive and hurry up and get it done, quick decision, when I probably could have just been like, hey, let's look at something that we have maybe in the back corner. We could have cut a piece out or something like that. But I didn't want to go mess up another lady's house.
An old lady's house?
Another lady's house. But it's her house. Like the renter, like the owner, we rent from them.
Okay, so you rent.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you guys owned.
No.
My bad. Okay. So, so you left, so you went there, you said that he was about 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay, what color hair did he have?
I say 5, my husband's 6, but just a little bit shorter, skinny, dark hair like mine. You might think I'm Hispanic, so like I'm really brown in the summer, but he wasn't here too. He's
Hispanic.
I know, but people always think that. So skin complexion was a lot darker than mine.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you want me to give you like a for skin complexion thing, but I would say like middle to tannish.
Okay.
Color.
And was his hair, like, did it have texture to it? Was it straight? Was it curly?
Well, he had a thing on his head, so it was like a little, I don't know, like a hat piece or something. And it was just, I can't tell you like a hairstyle because he had like a little brown like strap thing around it, but it was just like almost like jet black hair.
Okay.
But it wasn't like long.
Okay. And then, what was his face shape like?
Maybe like a little chubbier than mine.
Okay.
Like more rounded.
Was there anything about his face that like stands out that would help us be able to find him? Like that would we be able to be like, that's the guy right there? Like, did he have?
Well, I was noticing there was like
or-
some bad saying, but like maybe like a little bit of is it craters or like the little holes. I don't say holes. No, like you know how you can see some people and it's got like a little like holy like skin from the acne.
like acne?
Yeah, like stars.
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
Yeah,
Don't
so
put that out. Tell us.
like acne, like scars were kind of like present just a little bit there,
Okay.
and not bad though, not like super bad. But it could have been like even more like wrinkles or like whatever. But it's just a little section of like right here. But you can tell it was just like from like age or whatever,
Okay.
or maybe even from dryness. I don't know. I wasn't giving him a skin consultation, but I do remember there was like little spots here.
Okay. Did he have any facial hair?
Yes. He had a mustache that went right here, like around in this area, and that was completely it.
Okay.
It went like this here. Like the...
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to give you this because I don't know how to say the wording.
Okay, just the mustache.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said his hair was like jet black.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember like could you tell approximately how long it was?
Or his hair?
Like, was it long, short?
Yeah, I just told you that. I just said it wasn't long. It was the belt like barely fit around it and like flat, like like little flat pieces here.
Mm-hmm.
So, not bald, but not long. Nothing was hanging on the shoulders or anything like that.
But it wasn't like a military cut or anything like that.
Yeah, no, not a military cut or anything at all.
Okay, so kind of like medium length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then how old do you think he was?
I would say easily late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
But and based upon me thinking that too about the facial structure, how you can look at some people's skin and the elasticity or whatever it is different. So like those little, you could tell that had been there for a while.
Okay.
Almost like it was like I don't know if sunburn, but almost like you could just tell something had been. That's the very unique feature I just wanted you to have because that wasn't something that, like, hey, did the person have lipstick? This was, on their face that would be permanent.
Sure. Do you remember seeing any tattoos or any other like
No,
large
I didn't remember seeing. I just remember the vest. I didn't see any tattoos. He had a shirt under the vest. I don't know, shirt or jacket.
Okay.
I mean, like, I say under the vest, but like, how you have the vest over and people wear the shirt? Yeah. That's like a Colorado thing, so kind of.
What color was the jacket? Do you remember? Or
I just remember the red part because remember I told you earlier I was like I think it's red, but I was talking about the top layer. So,
yep.
Yeah.
That the vest was red.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know if you remembered what color the shirt was that was underneath.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
And then you said do you remember what color they were?
Yeah, they were that light tinting. I know everybody has a belt, but I just.
You said it was a tool belt?
Yeah, it was like a strap thing that had his pocket. I mean,
okay.
And I remember I like noticed that or whatever, and it was like more rounded, kind of like craters type thing.
Sure. And then and you went through the fact that you guys left there and you went to Petco.
Well, we already talked about. I don't know if I got gas beforehand or not, but I told you guys I would be more than willing to give you the information from an exact travel for the route, but we immediately left the Worsted Ranch area. That's what you're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had said you were going to leave him the cash on the bar. Did you go back and put that there, or were you going to or had you left that there whenever you left?
No. So we have, I always have like everything that was in with all the notes and everything like that was in the drawer that sits on this side of the kitchen or whatever. Okay. I had cash put in there because I had gotten, I was playing the lottery, so I had gotten cash back from the lottery, and I had already laid it out on the counter. My mindset was the reason I already laid it on the counter was not because I had it predetermined I was going to leave it out for a specific person. I already had it laid out on the counter because I was going to give that money to Harley because Harley has been paying on the dog because Chance, we finance him.
Okay.
I say finance him, but she's paying him back or whatever, and we always give her a portion of Chance and a portion of her car payment. So I was going to give that back to her anyway.
Okay.
And so in that moment, I don't even remember when I came in that I checked to see that the whole month, I left her $100, but I didn't check in the moment if that $100, so when I walked in, I didn't say, hey, there was only 20 there. and my mind wasn't thinking about, like it was gone. So I thought, okay. But in my conversation with him, here's how much you want to do, donation, blah, blah, blah. So when I come in, I didn't think to go look to see if he left the remainder of the $100. Like that just wasn't in my mindset because
it was already there on the counter whenever you had left.
Right. And that was just because when Holly got in, I was going to tell her that was usually like I Zilly her money or, like whatever we pay.
You what?
Zilly.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, everyone else does Zilly. Like, so it's kind of like Apple Pay or whatever.
Okay.
But they usually like I Zilly her money or things like that. But Albert knows this. I haven't had my USAA credit card in such a while, so I didn't have a way to go get it or whatever. So I had lottery ticket money.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll just use the lottery ticket money that I'd been stashing to go buy new lottery tickets.
Okay. And do you remember, was that like when you put it out there, was it like 20s?
Yeah, so it's always 10s. And the reason it's always 10s is because I tell myself I'm not playing anything like above the 10 amount.
Okay.
And I go to the save weight all the time and put it in that machine.
Okay.
If you put more than $10 in that machine, they're going to keep it. And you have to.
Oh, okay.
You have to ask, like, I put a 20 in there. You got to spend 20 in lottery tickets.
Okay. So you had $10 or $100 and $10 bills on the counter when you left.
Yes.
Okay. So you weren't worried. You didn't have to go back to like put that back out for him before you went out.
Yeah, no, and I didn't intentionally like leave it and say, whatever. In my mind when I left, because I didn't know like, hey, what time. I didn't have a specific time. I knew I needed to be back before Lena, but usually Holly gets off at 3:15. So I was assuming she might beat me back home.
Okay.
But she worked. Remember I told you like they were having people having to take shifts and all that. So she ended up working till later in the day.
Sure. Okay. All right. So, and then you come home. Let's talk about what happens when you come home. Okay. And I know that, that it can be difficult to talk about.
And I didn't want to talk about that part without, I'm one of those people that tries to like not think that mental health is always an issue or like things like that. And in my mind, I was afraid of the whole like, oh, it's causes mental health problems, like that type of thing. So
sure.
Talking about it, I'm trying to like, I think if I'm like emotions, I'm trying to be the blocker to think that I'm not going to let that be a stigma that I'm going to have mental health problems because of this. So that's.
No, and what I was going to say is because, I've been a special victims unit detective, and so I've had to investigate different types of assaults and sex assaults and stuff like that with adults and children. Mm-hmm. And so I just kind of want to let you know, and this is, I would let anybody that I was going to have this conversation know that that's what I've experienced with, and that it can be a hard thing to talk about, and that I understand that. And that it can be kind of a sensitive subject, and like people don't always want to say specifics, but for us, like, to be able to document everything and to be able to really pursue it, we have to get into the specifics. And I just want to apologize up front for that because I know it can be uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Are you okay? Do I have to talk about that? I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to be dreaming so anymore. I'm sorry, you don't want what? Like dreaming. I don't want to dream anymore. Maybe I keep saying it. Like in my mind, I keep saying it. And I'm trying to block it. And I'm fighting a battle, blocking out exactly everything, Sure. Well, so you would just ask, like, I can say yes or no. Or I just don't want to be like really specific in terms of, are you talking about like, you're going to ask me questions about like, so what I'd like you to do is start by telling me what you remember hearing whenever you came in that day. And then, and as you walk me through it, I'll have to ask you some questions. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So you and correct me if I get anything wrong, okay? You had said earlier that whenever you came in, that you thought maybe that Gannon had come into the house first.
I'm almost positive he went into the house first because I had to get the bags that we had purchased,
Okay.
like the Petco bag.
Sure. And you guys came in through the garage, correct?
I want to say the garage. I'm like 80% that it was the garage because we parked on the front without the truck.
Okay. So you come in through the garage. Gannon has already come inside. What's the first thing you remember seeing whenever you come inside?
I usually always go in to think about, hey, I need to let the dogs out. Hey, I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is my mentality, is to go in to do that. And the alarm could tell if no, it won't, because I had put those things on there. See, that's where the hard part is, because I can't give you the exact time, because yeah, but it might. And some of the sensors, remember I told you I had the things going on and we had put the little towel things on them or whatever. Some of the sensors were picking up, but some of them weren't. So I can't give you the exact count. If I went in, it could tell you if I went in and went upstairs or went downstairs first by the motion. But the motion was all off because I had put
towels.
Right.
You hadn't pulled those down from the night before yet.
Yeah, in my mind that was not like. Some of them, like the one in the corner, like hangs off the side, so it might have picked it up or it might have not. So if it wasn't for that, I could tell you by that, did I go straight in and go straight to the basement? Because it would say there's most activity.
I want to, so with this kind of conversation, it's really all about what you remember and what your perspective is. Okay.
So I remember it was just basically being, like normal, because I'm excited. We got, new clothes for the pets, and we're coming in the door, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
The day's halfway through. I knew I had specific responsibilities to continue out the rest of the night. My brain hadn't said, hey, you need to go check or anything with the money yet, because I just wasn't on that, that direction yet.
Sure.
I was on the direction I wanted to work out, I wanted to listen to my music, I wanted to relax. That was my mindset. So it wasn't to be like, okay, this here, this. That type of thing.
Sure.
It should have been, because I gave someone the code to get into our house. But in my experience in Lorton Ranch, it's been that, most everyone has people, they give people their codes and let them come in and fix things. And, like you can do the Amazon packages and have them delivered inside the door. So I wasn't thinking, like I need to run in and check, make sure it's okay. If I felt that I was doing a harmful situation, that would have been my first off, I wouldn't have done it, but second off, I would have went in immediately and been like, did he fix what he's supposed to do? Did he think something from the home? That would have been my initial thing. So it was a normal, I want to listen to music, I want to work out. I don't know, I might have got something to drink. I don't, up and down dogs, that type of thing. That would have been my, mentality. But what I didn't hear anything until I had my headphones on, and I thought, it's one of those things where you thought you heard something, because the downstairs, if anybody makes any kind of noise, like a boing, it's like it echoes really loud.
Oh, really?
Like it has like a louder echo through the vent.
Okay.
So even sometimes, whether you're asking about noise counseling or not, even like having things on or not, sometimes it's just the way that, they're sitting on there, you hear something, and that was like, almost like an echo noise.
Okay.
And that was, and below my room would be that storage room.
Okay.
So
you were in your room when you heard that?
So when I heard that, I don't remember if I was I know I had the headphones on.
Okay.
I don't remember if I was in the room or walking back and forth, because I had a big speaker box over here. And then either I played the big speaker or played the headphones or however on the big speaker back and forth. So I don't know if I was like here, there. Again, I wish I could give you the motion thing, because that would give you a better time, like at 254 or whatever, 255 here, like that. But when I heard it, that's when I was just kind of like, oh, did I hear something? Remember, I even told you earlier, I had to couple of times before I even thought that would be of a concern.
So when you thought you heard something, what happened next?
So I don't remember if it was one or two times or whatever that I kind of was like doing this here, and like back and forth. And that's when I told you that I, started to walk down the stairs. And I told you that Piano was on to the right of the area.
Okay.
Like when you walk down the stairs, he was on the right of the area.
Okay.
And the guy was over here.
Okay. And was the guy just out, or?
So the noise was probably because of like moving around, I guess, or whatever. And the door was like almost not necessarily like a semi crack, but well, maybe a little semi crack. I don't know if he was looking out, like peeking out or anything like that. And so I noticed that someone was right there. And that's when immediately it was just, there was no, it wasn't like, hey, how are you? It was, if someone's in your home, they're not there to, when they're not supposed to be doing whatever, they're not there to like talk to you. It was immediate from then on that it went to that. And Gannon came in,
Okay.
tried to get on.
So
blah, blah,
let's slow all that part down. Okay.
Mhm.
So you go downstairs, you notice somebody's there. What's the next thing that happened?
So I noticed that he was there. And he had, I told you, when I went in my room earlier, one of the things that I remember triggered, not that it triggered, but I thought was odd, but I had my shades, and I remember I told you my doors were open to the cabinet in the room.
Okay.
So I noticed that they were open, so that kind of in my mind was like, did I leave that open? But that also set off the fact of when your brain runs rapidly and you're looking, you're like, gosh, that's why that door was open.
Okay.
That
So like you put it together.
right. I put it together very, very quickly. And so that part ran back in my mind. And so immediately when he saw that, he saw me, I don't know if the intentions was to us to come in that soon. I don't know the intention if it was to do anything, because I don't think the intentions was going to be like take anything from us, because it was he already had on gloves. He already had obtained a gun from our home, like had already done those things, and immediately it was in attack mode for me.
Okay.
And from there, and I didn't mention to you, I did go in the cabinet because I take a lorazepam for anxiety, and I was like already super anxiety from like having all this, like going on and stuff with the like fire and stuff like that. So I took 2 lorazepams. So I did go in and take two lorazepams and blah, blah, yada, yada.
And that was in the cabinet, the lorazepam, or was that somewhere else?
Like in the kitchen?
No, you said that you went in. Where was?
I'm sorry. Like in the kitchen, we have a kitchen cabinet. I should say that to you.
Okay.
The cabinet that I'm talking about, the doors are, is a bedroom cabinet. I say cabinet. It's like a armoire, like a smaller one has doors that open. Okay. I should specify cabinet thing or something.
Right.
The bedroom one, the kitchen one would be where the
medication.
Right. So I did take. That's why I said I think I might have got some drink or something, but I did take 2 lorazepam. Okay. And so that I did do that, and then I did come down with it.
Okay. So just so we're clear, the kitchen cabinet was where your medication was. Describe for me the armoire in the bedroom where the shades and your gun was.
So you want to know like what's in it, or like what?
What does it look like? What
So,
color is it?
Sorry. So it's silver, like almost like a chromish color with like glass.
Okay.
And it does have handles, like a little knob that you can pull on or what, like pull open. And then of course they have like, I keep my important documents in there, like a passport. Or,
does it have drawers or anything?
No drawers.
Okay.
It has the insert,
like shelf.
The shelf.
Okay. Perfect. And where does that fit in your bedroom?
If you walk in the room, like say I'm like opening the door, walking in the room, it's exactly right here.
Okay. And does it sit on something, or does it have its own feet?
Like it's on feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're talking.
Yeah, it has its own feet. Okay. Yeah, and like if I had to do like I don't know what samples or whatever, I just wanted to tell you about the medicine because I didn't want you to be like, but I mean it's prescribed to me anyway. So.
Yeah, sure. That's
and I had already taken one that morning too, so it was just I only have taken a panic attack, but I just had taken a lot. I don't say a lot of it. It's not that, but I'd taken. I don't take any at all unless I'm having a panic attack. And I had.
It was a little bit more than usual.
Right. Just because it was just, like the whole anxiety of it. So
you go downstairs and you see him, and you said that he had already found a gun.
He had already been in the home, like in our home, like moving, like I say moving, like doing something, because you wouldn't have just walked in and known, hey, there's something here. You had to go in, and most people would probably look through drawers and things like that. I don't know. I'm not making that assumption. I'm just saying he had already obtained one. So I'm kind of like, I can't speak for what, like what went on or
I'm
anything
not
of that
asking
nature.
you.
Okay.
What, can you describe the gun for me?
So it was our black gun.
Black gun.
I don't know what make and like what the brand was or whatever.
Okay. Was it, do you know whether it was like a revolver or like a
No,
pistol
automatic. It's
or
automatic.
automatic?
Yeah, like you just pull the trigger.
Okay. And is that like, and do you know the caliber, maybe?
I think the 380 maybe
380?
or 9, one of those.
Okay. So you said it was y'all's black gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many guns do you guys have?
4.
4? Okay. What kind are they?
I don't know the big one that Albert has. It's kind of like an AR something.
Okay.
And then there's the shotgun. And so I think they're both 380.
380?
Yeah, like I think I think it's like a 380. Like they're both 380s.
Okay. And are they both black or like sometimes they have like the colorful one?
Yeah, mine's like a teal color.
Okay. So you have a black one and a teal one?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 I just wanted to cover that really quick. Okay. So you go downstairs. You've already obtained a gun. You think it's your black gun.
Right. No, I don't think. I saw the color black.
Okay.
So I was assuming where I told you that my mind went through that was like
That it was
our black gun.
right.
Now, at that time, I wasn't 100% if it was or not because there's plenty of black guns.
Sure. So tell me what happens next.
So, do you want me to go through the whole like assault again?
Well, we need to know like more specifics about it. So you said you saw him and that he had the gun and then he attacked you. How did he attack you?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a recess until 3:15. Again, don't discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss the case with anyone else. Don't do any research about any aspect of the case. With that, if we can have everyone back in the jury room at 3:15, we'll be able to all rise for the jury, please. Thank you. May all be seated. Record should reflect the court hearing.
Looks like that's about right.
No, because I know there's another video that's, I don't think, it'll probably be mid-morning Friday where they get to me, so.
Not sure we're gonna finish this one today.
Yeah, we may not. There will be some empty time, I think, in the room that we'll just push through, but when I mean empty, nobody's in the room.
Great.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be like 30 minutes, right?
I can't remember. Honestly, there's a chunk though.
Okay, well, we'll just, if we get it finished today, great. If we don't, we'll finish it up on Friday. And my docket tomorrow is virtual, so you can leave everything here.
Okay.
You don't have to clean off tables, you don't have to do anything.
Good. Thank you.
All right. All right, thank you. Court will be in recess then.
All right.
Present in the courtroom. We're ready to bring the jury back in.
Yes, Judge.
All right, let's go ahead and bring it in. All rise for the jury, please. Thank you. May all be seated. Court will recall 20 CR 1358 People versus LETECIA STAUCH. When we took our break, we were in the midst of a video interview of the defendant. That's where we will resume. Prosecution.
I know you said you worked with like victims and stuff before.
Mhm.
But hard to tell someone about people like touching you.
Sure, I get that.
And I just need to like not relive that right now. Can I get a little bit?
Like, you want to take a break, or
I just, you're wanting me to give you like play by play basically of an assault is very hard for you to ask me to do.
okay?
That's not like me explaining how to play a game. That's very difficult to explain what you remember.
Well, and we can take it slowly, and you can tell me what you remember, what happened, and stuff like that. You know, I want to make sure that you're okay, and I want to try and find Gannon, right?
Like,
Okay, so the more details that I have, the better it is that I'm going to be able to try and help you and to try and help Gannon. Okay.
for me telling you about an assault on me is not going to get like a faster result unless we like actually put some action into it, you know?
What do
like-
you mean?
Like, I don't know, like action is it too late to like check your body? I mean, is it
No, it's not.
like those type of things? Is that like,
It's not too late at all, actually. No, it's not. And if you want to do that, we can actually absolutely get that set up so that we can make that happen. So it's definitely not too
is
late.
it like a private like area or like how does that work?
So what it's called a SANE exam, and they're done by forensic nurses
Okay,
at the hospital.
okay, so it's like in a actual. You
Yep.
wouldn't know that's what you're there for.
And so, I mean, well, obviously the nurses would,
Right.
but not like just whoever else is in the hospital.
Right.
No. And so, because it is like a because it's a forensic thing and because it's part of a criminal case, you know, obviously this person who assaulted you, you know, so that we could gather evidence to make sure that, you know, when we find them that we can prosecute them and stuff like that. We would want to take you over there to the hospital and we get the forensic nurse to come and talk to you.
Okay.
And then they have paperwork to go over with you, just like any other kind of like bureaucracy or anything else like that, right? And they get your permission to gather that evidence from you and to do an exam. Okay. And they're all female, all the nurses.
Okay.
So, and, you know, they have their process that they go through and they collect all that evidence and then that's turned over to us. So it's not too late at all to do that.
So that was
But we need to know what happened because just like if, you know, like, and this is just like a totally off the wall example, but like if your kid comes in and tells you, hey, mommy, I'm hurt because I fell down. Well, you need to know where they fell and how they fell and whatnot so you can help them.
but that's the easy, easy thing. But when you're doing several different things in your brain and not to mention you're being violated physically, it's hard to give that specific, you know, details. I remember the pushing me in the room. I remember when my head hit. I remember those things.
Sure. And what I'd like
I remember my clothes getting taken off. Okay. But I don't want to be telling this got taken off. I don't want to be on that.
And that's not what it is.
I would tell that to like a nurse, you know, in the specifics so that that could assist in the process. But I say I would, but I don't know. It's just a hard thing to be like, okay, your pants are tight. You remember this, you remember that, like that.
Sure. And really, we need to know like the narrative of it. And there will be some stuff that I would ask specifics of. And if you remember, you remember. And if you don't, you don't. Or what you can say is, you know, well, I remember that, but I don't want to say.
No, I'm not trying to not tell you anything. It's just a hard process. I guess maybe I'm thinking you're asking me too much details. Maybe I'm overthinking what you're asking me. So do you want me to like I said, do a play-by-play of what I remember? Like as far as like moving?
Like, well, just start at the beginning and tell me what happened. Okay.
So, all right. So when he pushed me into the room,
okay,
I remember like a battle process of like, you know, like back and forth, you know, like that type of thing. I remember that type of thing.
Tell me more about that. The battle back and forth.
Well, if someone he's not much bigger than me, so it's not like it was this big, powerful person that I feel like I'm fairly kind of a little strong. So it wasn't just here get on the ground. It was you know, like getting like move around the room. I don't really remember like which direction.
Sure.
After I hit my head the first time, that's when it started to be a little blur into what was happening then.
Okay. So, and remind me, what was it that you remember hitting your head on that first time?
I think I want to say it was that red and black table. I'm sorry, red and blue table that was in Gannon's.
Red and blue table?
I feel like it was the red and blue table that was in Gannon's room because I remember like going back and hit my head.
Okay. Okay. And you keep motioning back here. Did you
like
the back of your head?
Right, yeah. So like it was in like, well, there was a couple, like the ground was a big force, but I was also fighting back. So I don't want you to think that it would have been some sort of, and I did have like, I was gonna like show you that I did have the blood in there a little bit because from the little scratch, but I did have the ability to push back some because he wasn't like overpowering that. It was just like, here you go. And
sure.
That sounds awful to say, but okay.
So when you got pushed into the room, and you got pushed, like you guys are doing this battle back and forth, and you hit your head, did you end up on the ground first?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't. I just remember hitting my head, and I remember the next time I hit my head, the second time that he came back after me and tried again. So there was a couple of times that I kind of was in and out of it. And
So what?
not to mention, I had taken lorazepam, a little extra than usual.
Mhm.
So it was, you know, a little bit. I don't say like out there. I did not know. I'm like that, but it was
Sure.
kind of like being like zoned out a little bit.
Sure.
It was almost like I was out, like blacked out,
Okay.
because it was one of those things where I could like hear what was going on, but I but I didn't like know what was going on, or vice versa.
What do you remember feeling?
There was not like pain as far as like your female part. I
Okay.
feel like the pain was on the struggle of like your body was tired.
Okay.
So like it's tired in trying to like your brain's telling you don't give in, but your body is just in a tired mode.
Okay.
And that was more of like I just almost like I was giving up, but I wasn't. You know, like once we were, you know, I can't talk about it.
So are you saying like once did he penetrate you?
I remember my clothes coming off, not my top part.
Okay.
Remember the bottom, and I don't remember if this was the first time or on the second time, which wasn't a successful time. I remember my clothes coming off like on the bottom, and I remember having my top on.
Okay.
And I remember I was pushing like pushing back,
Sure.
and then I like out of my mind, it was almost like a little blur because I hit the head again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, you're like trying to push up, like to push somebody off, and you get pushed back down and hit your head.
Okay.
And then it's kind of let it. What? Yeah, we did it. Like
I'm not gonna. Here's the thing: is that this conversation, like what we talk about, is not. I'm not gonna run and talk to your husband about or his ex-wife or
Right.
anything else like that. Okay.
I don't want to give in because I wasn't. It wasn't. I didn't agree to it, but at that point it feels like I did give in.
Okay. And thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that. When you say that you gave in and that he completed it, do you?
I don't remember about when I say completed. I mean as in I was able to like have that bolt of energy to like get up again. You know, it's like, I don't know if there was like completed. I can't. I'm not wanting to think about that. That's just disgusting.
So I'm not asking if he like ejaculated or anything else like that. That wasn't my question.
I'm sorry. That's what I thought.
So my question is, did he put his penis in your vagina?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Do you know? Okay. Sorry, that question. And that was when you were on the ground? Okay. And you said that he was pushing you down. What part of your body was being pushed
I
down?
don't remember.
Okay. So you said that like you kind of like came back up.
At
But
some
then-
point, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't want to give you wrong information about step by step about my body being violated. I don't think that's fair. Like I don't think that. And then every time I have to keep saying to you like, if it's happening, I have to say that to you again, and I have to say that to you again. Difficult.
Okay. Was there anywhere else that you were penetrated?
No, you mean like an area?
Anywhere else on your body?
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
And then at some point it ended. Okay. What happened next after it ended?
So, but it didn't end at that direct moment because remember Gannon comes in.
Okay.
Like,
Tell me about that.
Gannon comes in to like jump on him.
Okay.
Like, to like kind of help me out.
Okay.
And so I don't remember anything but like laying back, and I remember that I could like hear that Gannon had came in.
Okay.
I could hear that he knew this is not what you're supposed to do.
That Gannon did?
Yeah, like Gannon was aware that someone was trying to harm me.
Okay.
He might not have understood the complete in essence of it, but he understood someone was in our home and wasn't supposed to be doing what he was doing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, our home we're very open. We're always like, we talk about like, oh, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't do this until you're married. So,
Okay.
so he's very aware of, you know, like that's not how things happen.
Sure.
In his mind. So he came in
Okay.
at that point in time. And then I do remember that Gannon was like, I don't want to say thrown, but like he can't jump on a big guy. That's a big guy to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish
Mhm.
is a big guy to him.
Sure.
Because he's 4 something. And I don't remember from there. I just remember that Gannon tried to jump on him, and I remember Gannon was over here at this point in time, and then it was just kind of like a blur about what happened. But I do remember after, when I say finish, I don't mean what you're asking me about exactly. And I do remember when that was like getting up,
Mm-hmm.
that it was a situation. So that was when he had the gun again, and afterwards, not necessarily at him, but had the gun and had Gannon.
Okay. Can you tell me more about that?
So I just know that in the way he had him was kind of not necessarily at like a here, or if I had like a dummy to show you, it was more of like a,
Do you have a look?
okay, it was more of like a just wrapped around, but like Gannon was he recognizing like the gun, he wasn't trying to at that point fight back to him.
Okay.
He was just crying like to me, like to help him.
Okay.
And so that's why I made the decision to try to send the other kids somewhere else, because what if I would have ran for help at that point in time? I had every opportunity to run for help then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a good enough shooter to like, or really don't, to like go, feel like I'm going to shoot somebody, you know, because I don't, what else have we done too? You see what I'm saying? So I'm just not, my mind wasn't thinking that of trying to create harm if I made a dumb decision.
Okay.
And that was probably where I should have done some sneaky technique of, I thought about it after. I should have like gave Lena a letter, you know, or something like that and said, hey, go to the mailbox, take the neighbor's letter. Like, this is something I thought about after,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't think about it at the time.
Okay.
Like in the
So,
time frame.
so when you were on the ground and Gannon came in, what do you remember hearing?
Him yelling,
What was he yelling?
like he was yelling my name, like directed specifically at me, as in like,
Gannon was?
yeah, like,
What does he call you?
because, well, I just remember I told you about my name thing.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah. So he was saying Tesha.
Tesha?
He was like saying, are you okay?
Okay.
And then that's when he realized that wasn't. Like, not that I wasn't, but he realized I was kind of like in and out of it.
And what were you saying?
I was like immediately like doing, the first part was, doing the first time was doing the pushback, like get off of me. So I wasn't,
Said that?
but I wasn't communicating with Gannon.
Okay.
Like I wasn't saying Gannon go, you know, do this specifically, or like I didn't say like run, go do it. I didn't say anything directly that I recall.
Okay.
Now maybe I did, but that I recall wasn't specific direction, you know, to guide him in any direction. That was more of like a battle, like a back and forth thing instead of being. And that kind of made me a little like dizzy a little bit.
And was the man saying anything?
I don't remember anything but noises.
What kind of noises do you remember? I can't guess. That's the thing, right? So like I can't put words in your mouth. I can't guess. So I know like I'm sorry,
Pleasure noise?
pleasure noises.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, like pleasure noises, but like crunching sound.
Okay. And so he's making pleasure noises, and then Gannon comes in and yells your name. What does the
I
man
mean, I
do?
don't remember specifically, he just came and yelled my name or if he jumped first, but
Okay. What does the man do?
it was more of like a this, but he was still inside of me,
Okay.
kind of. I say kind of, but like he's moving,
Okay.
so obviously he's got to put more, like, got to put more like force on your body.
Okay.
And that's just when I just started to cry. Because it was like a giving up, kind of like a giving up type moment.
I'm sorry that you are upset by that.
And it was just, because what, I mean, why are you supposed to do it that point?
Sure.
If you keep trying to fight, but they already taken something from you that you only have pursued yourself.
Sure. Do you remember Gannon saying anything else other than your name?
I know he was hollering help at some point, and I think that would have been when he had, I don't remember, oh gosh. I don't remember like anything other than, I think I feel like I remember the second, I don't remember around the second time of the battle he was saying, get off of her.
Okay.
But I don't, I'm telling you, when I tell you that, and I hope to God that you are never in that situation, but it's just almost like a blur because you're so disappointed in your, like, emotional feeling, like your self-worth.
Sure.
Like, and how you feel about yourself.
Sure.
You feel like you're nothing.
What did you smell when this was happening?
I was going to say that to you. I forgot to, like earlier, and again, you didn't ask me that because I was thinking about, I could smell like a very strong, like paint or like almost like a paint, like someone had been painting or like they were around a house that might have had the drywall, almost like it was like a work smell.
Like you're doing this like the drywall. Are you talking about like paint or like the texture smell?
Yeah, like the powder of the drywall. You know how like you sand,
Sure.
and it has like that smell.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could smell like that part on them, but I feel like at one point I thought I smelled alcohol.
Okay. And you said that your ex, Harley's dad, did drywall. So the drywall smell is something that you would be familiar with?
He would have did it a while ago.
Sure.
But I know like in our home and things like that, I'm pretty, I don't want to say like know a lot about drywall, but just from being around the work sites growing up, I think with him, I was young when I was with him. I remember a lot about, like drywall in general. So
Sure.
I don't know if it's specifically drywall. It's more of like a sandpaper-ish smell.
Okay.
Like
Did you smell anything else? You said you smelled alcohol.
at one point I remember smelling like not like a deep, strong alcohol smell, but I could have like a sense of alcohol, like a breath of it.
Sure. Sure.
Come up like aroma,
Okay.
and it kind of was like I don't know, like almost like a foodish, like a salsa type smell. I remember at one point.
Okay.
Okay. If you kind of like you walk into a restaurant and it smells like some fresh tomatoes and that.
What do you remember feeling on your back?
Just a couple of days before this, I have been having like a lot of lower back pains like already. So it took that like pain away. And it was almost like it was just like, because I'm getting pushed back, but I'm straining. So it was almost like I felt a little bit of nerve, but I didn't feel it. Like I didn't have any, hey, there's the back pain. Oh, back to this. It wasn't like that. I knew that there was nerve being shifted or, changed in some direction.
Okay.
That it was Florida. Kind of hard.
And just remind me, you went upstairs and told Lena to go away, basically, to keep her safe. And then you came back down, and that was when he had Gannon, or he had Gannon before you did that?
You mean,
Like when you said that he had his arm wrapped around?
right. So once he had him, once I came back, because once I got up and whatever, there was the ring. Remember I told you about the motion and things. So he grabbed him then. He had him still when I came down, but
You grabbed him then?
right. Remember the ring is what triggered, because there was the first ring that wasn't there wasn't anybody on the ring, or there was no one there. Because I think I went up and down, or maybe I don't remember if I went up one time and down, or up one time twice. I don't remember exactly, but I remember there was two alerts,
Sure.
or two triggers, to the door.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, so two triggers. I feel maybe it was two times, because the first time there was nobody there.
Okay.
There was no. Something must have set it off. Yeah. So and then there was this. Lena was the next trigger.
Okay.
But I knew the next one was Lena, because I knew the timing almost perfect, and you can hear from our house when the bus hits its brakes.
Okay.
So I didn't have to go look at an app or anything with that, because I knew that, the timing was just the same as normal. That you can hear the bus is right there. You can hear, kids are on the way, like that type of thing. And
Sure.
I knew it was Lena, and that was my first thing I open up, I let Lena in, I had a conversation with her just like it was a normal day. But then that's when because I didn't want to be like, here, go. I did quickly say, here, go, whatever. But I wanted to not just open the door and be like, here, go right now.
Okay.
Like, I had to at least make a 30-second, 1 minute, maybe I'm exaggerating 1 minute, but 30-second dialogue, of here, I need you to go get milk.
Okay.
Or here, go, Daddy said go ride your bike, or
Sure.
that type of thing. Because later on, I knew she was going to have to eat snack at some point, and I figured just that later on she was eating. I figured out another time she eat snack. I was worried about getting her like out and about that time.
When
I'm sorry, I should have given her a note. I should have given her a note.
we don't, we don't need to go into like what you should have done or shouldn't have done or anything else like that. Things are never perfect, and we can beat ourselves up for 100
Yeah.
years about things we should have done.
Right.
Right. Okay. So that's not. I'm not here to judge you or anything else like that. I'm here to understand what happened,
Right.
and try and gather as much as we can so that we can help you and we can help find Gannon. Okay. When the attack was going on downstairs, you said you got hit? Your head got hit a couple of times. Were you hit anywhere else?
I don't. Are you asking like about like punch or like?
Yeah. Were you punched, slapped, kicked?
I don't remember. I don't remember being hit anywhere else.
Okay. Do you have any injuries?
I don't have like any specific injuries here, because I was grabbing like this, like pushing up. Most of it was just like head. I don't want to say trauma, but head force on my head and then the nerve in my maybe spine. That part.
Okay. And then like,
And then I did like have like a little like this that little part like right there was like bleeding.
okay.
And then my nails, I know they look crazy now, but they were, and then of course that was the burn mark, so that was so my nails were like that because when I get nervous, like I don't know, or whatever.
Mhm.
So, but that would have been from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go upstairs, tell Lena to go, and then you go back downstairs,
Right.
and he still has Gannon. What happens next?
So he still has Gannon. Hold on. Can I like be? Can I try to read?
Yeah, do what you need to do.
So like he was the first time my body, and then he has Gannon, and I don't want to make sure he's not hurt. So I go upstairs, come back down. Oh, that's when he was asking. Well, he wasn't asking me. He was demanding different things. He was demanding like I probably didn't tell you that earlier, but I do remember that now.
Okay.
He was like demanding things from me. He was demanding me that I was not to say anything, that there would be consequences. He didn't say the word there would be consequences, but it was in a louder tone of direction of saying.
What exactly did he say?
I don't remember exactly. I just remember there was some sort of you gotta make sure you don't tell anyone at the door. And I had common sense enough to know if he had Gannon and has a gun that I'm not gonna
Sure.
make a stupid decision. So coming back down, at that point in time, I remember being like, what, like, I don't remember if I was pleading or asking. Gannon was saying help. I didn't have a weapon. I couldn't just go grab and hurt him. So somehow, I don't remember exactly what we end up being in again, like
Okay.
being in a commotion again.
Mhm.
And that's the second time that he was attempting to try. And that's when I kind of went completely a blackout. And I don't remember, oh yeah, I remember I told you he was demanding different things.
Mhm.
And I gave him a brown suitcase. I gave him a box that was in the room. He asked me, he demanded the brown suitcase. Well, he didn't demand the brown one. He demanded a suitcase, and I just gave him the brown suitcase.
Okay.
And in my mind, I didn't know.
Can you describe the suitcase for me?
I don't remember. I just remember we have like 10.
Okay.
I just remember the brown.
Is it like a
big-
check bag, a carry-on bag?
Yeah, maybe like about 27 inches, maybe.
Okay.
Like,
So
you
it's
know,
like one you would check, not one you
No,
carry
you
on.
can't check 27. You can only check 20, 21. So,
So check is the ones that like you give to them.
right. That it can't be over 21. Spinners or whatever can't be over 20. It has to be over 21. It doesn't have to be over 21 check, but if it's over 21, it can't be a carry.
Right.
So the bigger, like,
So it was a bigger one?
yeah. So
Okay.
like I say about 27
Okay.
inches or inches or whatever. And I thought he was gonna put things in our home and like
Okay.
take all of our stuff and like our anything that needed. I thought he was gonna like take the gun
What did he do with it?
and take like I don't know. I provided what he asked for
Mhm.
or demanded, and then we got into it again because there was yelling, and I don't remember what we were yelling about, but
Mhm.
it was just anything I could do. If I give you this, take everything,
Mhm.
and we just whatever,
Mhm.
and
Okay. And you said that he wanted a box.
yeah, he that was one of the things that I'm trying to remember all of it. And that's why I said I thought he was gonna pack our like whatever there was in our home. 'Cause originally I didn't think that he was in our home to take. Remember I told you I didn't think he was in our home to take something because
Uh-huh.
he was buying a gun. But at that point, I thought he was gonna like clean us out with, or I say clean us out, take whatever he could.
Like steal things.
Yeah, like steal things from us because you can, if you're in Lorton Ranch and you're like, oh, I'm going to the airport, but it doesn't look like you're walking out the front door with a TV. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was my mindset of like,
Oh, so you think that he was gonna, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like what you're telling me is you thought he was gonna take stuff from your house and put it in the suitcase in the box. And
Right.
It looked like he was going to the airport.
yeah, like,
Not
going
like he was stealing.
yeah,
from you.
yeah, and I don't want to say specifically the airport, but like it looked like to
Going
make
to
it,
travel.
yeah. So like in my mind, I'm just thinking he's about to clean this out, but I don't really care. Take everything
Sure.
that he wants to take. That was like in my mindset. And then I remember there was like talking or yelling, or I don't remember how we got to part, the second part, but I remember he wasn't able to, And of course, between all that, I mean, I wasn't running around naked. I had to put my pants back on,
Sure.
and that was a awful feeling. Like, I mean, it wasn't like, I just ran upstairs and I had to, like put myself back together.
What do you mean by put yourself back
Like
together?
my pants, like I
Okay.
couldn't. If I would have showed up at the front door or whatever with Lena or anyone, I mean, I walk around in like shorts and all that. But I'm saying like it would have been, and like you say, we're not going to go on what I should have done, but it could have put off alarm to this is what you need or whatever. But this is my daughter. Is it okay if I just let her? Uncle wants to. Okay.
Sure. Do you remember? So can you describe the box for me?
Brown box.
Was it like a cardboard box?
Yeah, like
A wooden box?
Yeah,
Was it like a metal? Like, did it have stuff in it?
yeah. No, like there was nothing in it, but it was just a regular like shipping boxes. Like
Okay.
that's why I mean that makes common sense of I'm putting stuff in there but he could have easily have gotten that himself, but he would have had to have let him again and go. But that was his way to have control of the situation.
Sure. And where was that box at before you got it?
In our storage room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that where the suitcase was as well, or?
Yeah, I got the suitcase and the box, and I was saying things because I did think he was going to rob us. Like I say, like take all of our stuff, and I started out with being like, upset about being robbed, but then it was like take anything you want.
Mm-hmm. It sounds really scary.
Yeah, it definitely is because in my mind I'm like, but I knew if I'm giving into the situation, then I can get what like what I would expect the result out of it, which would have been that everybody would have been safe, and he's going to get what he wants. And your intention was he saw someone that he wanted to take advantage of.
So you give him the stuff. There's another altercation, and you said he couldn't, and you kind of trailed off.
Yeah, like he couldn't at that point in time like take my pants back off. Like it wasn't like the first time.
Okay.
Because I was more of in a like lackadaisical thing at that point, because once we were like, when I hit my head the next time on the thing, I think that hit some sort of spot that I don't really remember after that. Like,
Where was Gannon when that?
I don't really remember
altercation
after
happened?
that. That's where it kind of was. Everything from then was a blur, and so it was me telling you that was like, what do you mean you don't know what happened after that? And no one's going to, understand that unless they're there in that moment that I don't remember.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I have to ask the questions, right?
And
Because if I don't ask the questions, then somebody later is going to be like, well, what happened? What happened next? Where was he? And I can't say, well, I didn't ask, right?
Right.
Like I have to ask the question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was just saying.
Yeah.
like in general, not specifically.
Right. So if I ask a question, I'm not trying to like make you feel bad or anything else like that. I'm just trying to understand and make sure that we cover everything.
Right.
Okay. So you say that you hit your head again. You kind of don't know what happened next. Do you remember, or I guess, can you tell me how this ended?
I just remember like being out of it, but I could also, like in my mind, like I could hear, you know, like loud banging,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I don't remember, I couldn't see, you know, like what was going on or anything like that. I just, almost like I could hear a little bit of a struggle, but I don't know what was going on.
Okay.
And that for me is hard because I need to know, like, and I hope that cause like dreams, I'm like, maybe I'll dream and remember what was going on, or maybe I'll have like a recollection later of, oh yeah, I remember this, but I clearly have been pounding my brain to give it to you about like exactly what was happening
Sure.
at that
Sure.
point in time.
What's the first thing you remember after this incident, after the attack, the second attack?
I just remember being like, where's Gannon? And I was freaking out because I didn't know where he was at.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything that would have told me. And I thought he was hiding.
Okay.
Like I thought maybe he was in the closet or, you know, somewhere hiding so that he knew, you know, like he would be okay, like away or whatever. I thought he was hiding.
Okay. What was the first thing you did after this happened?
I was calling his name because I did think he was hiding.
Okay.
And at that point in time, once I realized that he wasn't hiding, I went into that mode of like, okay, I'm fix this.
Help me understand how you understood that he wasn't hiding.
Well, because if I am saying to him that I assumed that everything was, I didn't see the guy in my like sight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that he was hiding, you know, like in my mind. So like I didn't see the guy, so I'm assuming he's hiding. So then I'm asking him, you know, like, Gannon, where are you? Gannon, I'm assuming he's hiding. So then I'm asking him, you know, like, Gannon, where are you? Gannon, or maybe he was in the closet or, you know, somewhere hiding so that he knew, you know, like he would be okay, like away or whatever. I thought he was hiding.
Okay. What was the first thing you did after this happened?
I was calling his name because I did think he was hiding.
Okay.
And at that point in time, once I realized that he wasn't hiding, I went into that mode of like, okay, I'm fixed.
Help me understand how you understood that he wasn't hiding.
Well, because if I am saying to him that I assumed that everything was, I didn't see the guy in my like sight. I'm assuming that he was hiding, you know, like in my mind. So like I didn't see the guy, so I'm assuming he's hiding. So then I'm asking him, you know, like, Gannon, where are you? Gannon, where are you?
Okay.
So then I realized Gannon would come out, or again, I can't say we do different things at different times, but if Gannon thought it was safe, he'd come out. So then, in my mind, to be honest with you, when I said I'm gonna fix this, I thought Gannon was still hiding. So when the detective like searched the home, I really was hoping that's what was going to happen, and he had been scared to come out because he didn't know if it was safe. Or maybe if he was like, you know, had hit his head or something after what I don't remember, but he could have been, you know, hiding and maybe got, I don't know. I don't want to make assumption of how he could have maybe not been aware or alert. My thought process was when the guy said he was going to search the house, that I was going to find him, like we'd find him, that's when it really set in that I didn't know where Gannon was at.
Has Gannon ever hid in the house before?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, they play little like back and forth of like, you know, like hide behind the sofa or like boo, but it's only like, you know, a little bit of time. But but we don't have like the violence of, you know, him seeing another man hurting someone. So I would think in that moment he would have been hiding.
Okay.
But he wasn't, you know, prone to be like, I'm going to hide out. But his personality is very, in like actually getting along with people and that type of thing. So
Yeah, I think that somebody had talked to the school and like they had said that he was pretty laid back and quiet.
Right, and that would have been, you know, my thought. Again, Gannon was on his medicine, so he has a different, the way he acts is differently than when he isn't.
Sure.
So he would be a more hyper, you know, so that's why I would have expected, you know, that he would have come right out. But then, because on his medicine, he'd been more like zoned out, how to make decisions correctly, because he would have been, he's just like that. When he takes it, give it to him, he can't do any schoolwork like he has medicine.
Okay.
Like, I mean, reading off everywhere. So my mind was thinking he didn't take his medicine, you know, so.
What's his behavior like when he doesn't take his medicine?
It's not bad. Like, it used to be where you couldn't get him to focus on anything. Like, if you went to church, you could not sit in church without electronics. And I know that might have been a little bit willful, but it was, he needed something to have that attention. But for the ADHD, he needed something to have that on. So without his medicine, he could, and like on the hike, he might run way up there, and then we take up, you know, because like that much energy.
Okay. And is that what it was like on Sunday?
You mean at the hike? Yeah. It was like he had the burst of energy, but then his stomach, when his stomach got hurt, and he didn't see it. That's when he took more of he was able to control it because he was focusing on his obsessions on cleaning his body. Okay. I mean, imagine like walking around.
Sure. That would be uncomfortable for
right.
pretty much anybody, I think. Okay. What happened to the gun?
So the gun. This is how I knew. I didn't know in the time that the gun was out. I didn't know. I didn't know the time ago. I just assumed that it was black colors that it was. You know? So remember, I said that I put the stuff back in the closet. I put everything back the way it was because obviously at that time I had told them what had happened because I was in that mentality of I'm going to fix it. So I put everything back in the position that it was, and he did not take the gun. Where he couldn't have because the gun when I left it would have been upstairs. But I didn't bring it downstairs, but that was our gun. So that's how I knew for a fact that he had to have our gun, or either he had it in the process of stealing it and somehow it fell and he maybe had another gun. I'm not sure about that part, but I do know that I put it back in it.
So where did you find your gun?
Correct. My gun or
after it was over, and you said you were putting everything back where it belonged.
Yeah.
Where was it whenever you found it to put it away?
So, like at the carpet, because the carpet roll piece had like fallen off, so it was at the carpet.
Okay. And that was
in the different directions. I don't remember, but I feel like I saw different directions.
Okay.
But yeah, it had fallen over, but the gun was there. I didn't see where Gannon was at. That's why I assumed in the situation that he was hiding.
Okay.
I didn't think that there was a concern, you know, at the time that, you know.
Okay. Describe for me what Gannon's room looks like after this happened.
I just remember putting things back together. Like I say back together, but like I remember I had already like straightened out his room from before because when he had the like burns and stuff, and I do remember Gannon was, I do remember Gannon was bleeding. And I think from the hospital could have been something with his arm.
Okay.
But I do remember he was, like, he did have, like, blood and stuff like that. I do remember at some point that he was bleeding. I want to say, I remember he was on, not just on me. I feel like at some point in that, and it might have, when the first time he might have like landed on me or somehow I was like holding him, not necessarily holding him, but I feel like he was there.
Okay. Okay.
So I had that like knew he was here, but yet I was still, yeah, taken advantage of.
Okay.
And but yeah, back to what you said about the ring. So I put like everything, you know, back in its order. You know, I want to say that it might have been 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I don't know. It would have had to been so it probably would have gotten off at 4:30. It might have even been. Sorry. It might have even been a little bit longer that I remember being out of it. And the reason why is because just the time frame.
Okay. And the this all happened on Monday, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I had it all right. So you put this stuff back together. You found the gun on the floor next to the carpet that had fallen over. Where did you put the gun?
I took everything and put it back because when I had to tell like Albert, that was the first question that he asked was like, where are all the guns? Are they all here? That type thing. So I put them all back together.
Okay. And I don't live in your house, so I don't know where it all back together is. So where are the guns typically stored?
Either in that shelf that I was telling you about,
the silver one,
right, or in a bowl in case of emergency. You don't need the shotguns to be that, that accessible. So I put my handgun was already in its place.
Your teal one?
My handgun was already like in its place completely. I mean, I don't know if it was in the exact same location, but my handgun was present.
Okay. Where was it at?
In what you just told me.
In that,
yeah.
Council approach for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take about a 10-minute recess. So if I can have all of you head back to the jury room, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't discuss the case among yourselves. Don't discuss the case with anyone else. With that, all rise for the jury, please.
We only got.
Oh, I didn't tell you about the situation yesterday. So like, I'm watching it.
I know, it was funny. Timing was perfect. It was
Yeah, but I was doing it for you.
No, and then he stood up, so I'm like, oh, there you are. That was fun. I needed some,
Yeah.
Like, how do you? And then, So I was like, I was like, okay, I'll be back to the five. I got to they had to have your back. I got in the station. They were like, yep. I was like, and I thought, no. The audacity. Fine, I can't make it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I read it.
I don't know if I can say. It's like soft. It's like my least favorite is asking. That works. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's the one person. Yeah, I was like, it was too, it was real and exactly. Because it's the ones where they can't. Yeah. No, I know. Oh, yeah, I went down and got one. You just have to shake your head and be like,
It still lives here now?
yeah, no, but it's. Take a caffeine. Yeah, that's right. This thing is changed. And like 2 hours later, different editors says a whole new entire. Reminded them. What keywords.
Sorry for the interruption. We have, we need to wait just 1 minute, I think, for one of the jurors. Let's go ahead and bring the jury back in.
I
Work in
know,
that direction.
I know. I really know.
You started here.
Yeah.
came to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's tape. Is it?
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, she's,
I'm gonna recover. Man.
it's not as bad during the day. On openings, I did too. That was my word.
Yeah.
I felt awful the night before. I was like, are you freaking kidding?
I don't even know. Nobody's done it before.
I felt pretty bad. No. I would have.
All rise for the jury, please.
Yeah, I would have too, except for it makes you feel kind of screwy.
Thank you. May all be seated. Court will recall CR 1358, versus LETECIA STAUCH. Record to reflect the jury is present back in the courtroom. Sorry for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen. That was an emergency I had to deal with unrelated to this case. With that, go ahead and start with the word.
And then just as far as timing goes, Judge, do you want us to just play it right up till 5 and then
About 5 till.
5 till? Okay.
Yeah. So everything was already there. I just put, I say gun, when I tell you put the guns back in their place, there wasn't multiple out in different places. I just want to make sure you know that it was, it was, I put that gun back with its partner gun. To make sure it was in the same position.
So you put the black handgun into the silver armoire thing, chest thing, with your teal handgun.
Right, in the same chest.
And have they been moved since then?
Well, Albert took them.
Albert took both of them?
Mm-hmm. He made me give him mine too.
When was that?
Today.
Today?
Yeah. So like he took all of them when you guys, I guess you guys, I'm sorry, when in your department, I guess they went through my closet or whatever.
Okay.
They still left the guns in the closet, but you know they weren't in the same place that they were.
Sure.
And so Albert took all them too because he was like, "Oh, well, I don't want you to harm yourself," and things like that. He was saying those things to me, so he took them all and made me give him mine as well.
And that was today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a history of trying to harm yourself?
No. Say things like, he tried to say something about like I'll grab a knife. That is not true. I do not do that. Like I have never done anything like that in my entire life. Never have received any kind of counseling for anything prior to anything like that. Disturbing somebody, nothing like that. So there would be no like reason. And right there in the beginning, that mental health thing, I've always tried to put a blocker up. Because I know that, things in your life can cause those problems. And I just never did anything like that. Like, I might be like, 'cause I was raised in the country, so it might be like someone says something about the funny thing, like, you're without, like that type.
Sure, yeah.
But not anything that would have been like, I'm going to cut myself and harm myself. He was, like in his military mode, protection mode. And,
well, he cares about you. That's good, right?
He wanted to just take everything away. From there. So.
Okay.
He was like, I don't want you to hurt yourself. And I was like, what?
So I just want to kind of like sum up what I think about, or what I kind of know generally about what happened on Monday. Okay. So Albert didn't go to school that day, or not Albert. I apologize. Gannon didn't go to school that day because he was not feeling well, and because you guys wanted to get the carpet fixed.
Right.
You went to the new build area, and you met Eduardo, and you arranged for him to come over to your house while you were gone to work on replacing that piece of carpet for you.
You should come over to my house while I was going to work on replacing that carpet.
Yeah. You gave him the garage code and stuff so he could come in and
But she said I was gone when we replaced the carpet. I was on shopping while he was
gonna do the carpet.
Okay, I got you. I thought you said it. I was making sure that you hadn't twisted the way I said it.
And that's exactly right. I want to make sure that nothing's twisted.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were gonna go to Petco, do some
I
running.
didn't set out to go pick. I set out to go shopping to get dogs some new.
Yeah.
Just have to do that.
Yeah. So you were gonna go do some shopping, and he was gonna go fix the carpet. You left the house around 10:30-ish, 10:30-ish, and then you go. At some point you got gas. You went to Petco twice.
And I seen Starbucks earlier, but it was actually Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay. Coffee. Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts, maybe. Okay. And then you get home about 2:30. 2:30. You come in, and you said you wanted to listen to your music and work out.
Yeah, I was in the kind of like donut mode, not in the remembering. Oh my gosh, it's gonna fix something.
Okay. And then sometime between that 2:30 or after you got home at that 2:30 time frame, you were getting your headphones, putting your headphones on, music, zone out, whatever else you thought you heard something. You went downstairs, and that was when this attack happened. And then what time does Lena come home from the school bus?
It depends. They change the school hours. It could be anywhere between 3:15 and 3:30.
Okay.
Depending on.
So 3:15, 3:30 is the typical time Lena comes home. You don't want her to be in danger, so you send her out to go ride her bike and check the mail. And you go back down, another altercation happens, and whatever the next thing you remember is that you kind of come to and Gannon is missing.
Right.
Okay. So, and that was probably like around 4 o'clock. Rough estimate.
Yeah, because it would have been, or it could have been 4:30. But it wouldn't have been after 4:45 because let's see, Hollywood took 30 minutes to get home, so she hadn't got home. Lena was still riding the bike or out and about. Yeah, it had to be 4-ish.
Okay.
4:15, no later, like I said, than 4:45, because that would have been already like on her way home.
I think I have a pretty good idea.
I'm pretty sure that was exactly right.
Okay.
Because I think I told, yeah, because then I sent Harley and Lena to Dot Street. Yeah. Yeah. So Harley had a drive Lena.
What is the you have an alarm on your house? What company do you use for that?
ADT.
ADT? Okay, let's write that down. And you have the same, is the passcode for the ADT stuff the same as like your garage door code and stuff like that, or?
Like, you mean like the login?
Like when you go in to disarm the...
Oh, yeah. No. It's different because the alarm is Gannon's birthday.
Jan's birthday?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna take a break. If you need to use the restroom.
No, but I really need to, I haven't showered and haven't eaten, and I'm just getting tired.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. And we had talked earlier about whether or not it would be able to take action at this point, as far as like gathering evidence and stuff like that, with whether it had been too long, and I told you that it wasn't. Is it something that you're willing to do.
Right, yes, definitely. I would do anything for you to figure out who Eduardo is and make sure that
Okay. And it's perfect that
I found what you to say to make sure that I could just like.
okay. What pants were you wearing when all this happened?
There was a set of like clothing, and I had like washed the stuff like you and you guys here. Sure, people
I get it.
had taken some of the stuff I don't know, whatever, but I put it with all the stuff that like I had washed and stuff like that. I don't remember if it was the black and purple or the black and blue, but it was like sporting athletic things. They were on my chair when I went home last night.
Were they like leggings or joggers or?
Yeah, they were like kind of like this.
Like
Yeah, like, well, but more of the nylon-ish material.
thing, so they were like black and maybe purple or blue.
Yeah, it was one that I wear like a lot of Nike and stuff like that. It was one of those.
And you didn't give them the alarm code, right? You just gave them the garage code.
Yeah, because you don't have to have like the alarm code to come in the house.
Okay.
You have to have, and that's assuming that I even set the alarm. I mean, I may or may have not. I mean, typically I try to, log into my phone and do it if I forget. That's just assuming if I had, whether I had or not set the alarm, but I'm pretty positive. I don't say positive. I'm almost certain that I had set the alarm.
Sure.
But it doesn't have a sensor on the door. Like
Are you able to see if you log into your alarm account whether or not it was alarmed at that time?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to show you, but I couldn't serve it.
Okay. You might need to like plug into the Wi-Fi or something like that.
Yeah.
To do that. And there's open Wi-Fi. It's like EPC. Yeah. It doesn't require a password or anything.
Okay.
If you want to do that, can you use the restroom or anything like that?
No, I'm actually. I mean, am I like free to leave or?
We're not holding you here. We'd like to get you over to the hospital for that.
I would totally do that, but I really am. I just want to get some food and take a minute, and I can drive myself to the hospital. I don't want to feel like I'm some, person they're going to look at differently because I am showing up with, police and people, and that's why I asked you where the secret, like where people would know, because I understand you have a goal and a purpose, and that is our common purpose to have done here.
Mm-hmm.
But I also am thinking about how emotionally.
Yeah, and I get that. And so I will tell you that if we drive you over there, we don't go in the front. We go in a back way. So you wouldn't be seen by the general public or anything like that. And obviously we're not in like uniforms. Everything is concealed, all that other stuff. So it's not like we walk in with a scarlet letter or anything else like that. So, okay. Let me go check on a couple of things really quick and then be right back. Okay?
Okay, you said I was free to go.
Are you wanting to leave right now?
I'm really hungry. I'm thirsty. Look at my lips. They're chapped.
Okay.
They're like really bad.
Okay.
I mean, you guys know it's not like I don't answer or talk to you or anything like that.
Okay.
I've kept some communication with you.
Okay. Can you give me just a few minutes to just check to make sure that I've covered everything that I need to cover, and then I'll come back in?
She said that I would be able to go. Like, she didn't say I would be. Like, I mean, I'm sure I've been here hours. And she said specifically that I would be able to go.
And I'm not saying that you can't. I'm asking if you can give me a few minutes.
I think if you can just call me, or I mean, I still have like, I have to maintain my mental health in this situation, and that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to go. My lips are burning, and I want to take a shower. I mean, look at my fingers and all those things.
Right. So it would be better to get the forensic
I'm
exam
not going over there like
before you
not
shower.
not like cleaned. I'm not doing like as in shaved and things like that. I'm not doing that. I haven't showered in 2 days. Like that's disgusting. I'm not doing that. But I will gladly go.
Well, I mean, if you're saying you want to go take a shower before you go get the
No,
thing
I
done?
didn't say I was gonna go take a shower. I said I need some time to just rest. I'm exhausted. I want to take a shower. My hair is nasty, and I'm not going over there like dirty, smelly for someone to.
But you realize that's how we gather evidence, right? So if you go take a shower right now, and I understand that you're like uncomfortable, right? And that you want to take a shower,
Right.
And so that's why I would like to get you over to the hospital to get the exam done.
Okay, well, then I'm driving myself there because I'm not getting escorted to an exam when I'm already going through a difficult time with having someone violate my body
Mm-hmm.
to whether you go in the front or the back. I mean, am I not allowed to take myself there?
I didn't say that at all. I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying to impress upon you, like, if you go take a shower, then you wash away the evidence.
I know, I understand. I just said,
And you said you weren't going to go over there while you're.
yeah, I don't want to get dirty. I can at least go freshen up or something. Like I'm.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay, so can you tell me how to leave?
Please. I have to go over here. Let me get somebody to escort you out.
Okay. Oh, hi. Said that I could go.
Well, can you talk to me about what?
And you told me I could.
I know, but I'm left.
I understand that.
I'm left, and I just want to get the fill in. So I have a couple questions about Sunday. If you're okay filling that in. I know you're tired.
I'm tired. I said that I could. So I just want to take a break. That's all I'm asking for.
Where do you want to?
That means I want to go to rest. Like she said, I could drive myself to the hospital. So I just don't want.
What do we need to go?
Am I
Are you
able
okay?
to just go? I mean, what do you mean? Am I okay?
But I've been hearing about a hospital. I mean, what's going on with that?
This is why this is frustrating because I've already given her information that you guys can fully like watch and see, and you can know why I'm going to the hospital because she wants to get DNA, like or to have your body checked. So, right.
Were you supposed to report this? How did that happen?
It happened on Monday.
On Monday? What?
I can't right now go through it again. I can't.
Okay.
Can't.
So let me make sure that we've got everything lined up for a singing exam. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's gonna do that, and I'm gonna just take a break. I want to get food. Look at my lips. They're chapped. I haven't.
You want some food?
I know.
What do you want to eat?
Okay, she just said I could be escorted out.
Okay.
And I promise you have my number. I haven't not.
You're done with all this?
I haven't not communicated with you. I have been.
Are you done with that cup?
Nothing but. Can I not take it?
You can if you want. I just didn't know if you were done with it. We recycle them too. So okay. Hang on, hang tight for me just real quick. Let me make sure that she doesn't have any other questions.
But she finished what you just said.
I get that. Let's just let me double check with her.
She said I could go. That she
finished up the interview. I don't know. I'm not holding you.
Okay, so can someone walk me out?
You want to go? You want to leave?
I will clearly answer your questions. I just want to take a break. Like I've literally done followed all your.
Where do you want to go for your break?
I want to see my child. I want to get lunch with her.
Well, I'm more than happy to get you lunch or to bring your daughter here or whatever needs to happen. I'm not saying that you can't leave, but I would like to finish up this conversation with you. There's a couple of questions about Sunday that I have, and this is the first time that I'm hearing that you're sexually assaulted.
You go stand right.
That would be, well, you lean towards the door, so open the door. If you would like to have a conversation in the room, we can. It's up to you. But like I said, I missed out on a bunch. So
Okay. and I'm being able to just go with it and chill out. Do we have to disagree? Where do you want to go? So am I not allowed to? I'm maybe asking the question.
Well, I'm trying, so I guess our communication isn't the greatest at this point in time. Are you wanting to leave the office to go get something?
Right, yes, I clearly you have my number. I'm not gonna not answer you for anything. I'm gonna answer you.
My name's Maple. How are you? Good, good. So,
Yes.
let me talk to you.
Man, I just want to get directions.
I get it. And so, once again, we're back in the interview room.
Okay.
We're on camera. Mitch Maholko, you think the investigation section. Okay. So at this point in time, we were just a step outside and tell me if I'm wrong, that you decided that you wish to leave and that there's no problem with that. I asked if,
You didn't ask, you took.
at that point in time, you really, me, I
You didn't release the party, you took.
I took the phone and I told you that we would be applying for a search warrant.
You said applying.
That's correct.
I'm not going anywhere. I literally just need directions. I mean, I have family numbers in there I don't have.
But you're going to be applying for a search warrant. Is that understood?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one favor. You let me find out, or you show me something that you can legally take my phone and you don't have a search warrant yet. You show me that. Can you show me that? Can you show me that?
We're being video recorded.
I understand, but could you show me that, sir? Because that feels like that's kind of a little unconstitutional.
And if that's the case, that can be something that you can bring up.
That sounds
At this point, we're going to go ahead and hold on to this phone.
okay. Can I use another phone? The phone is attorney? That is unconstitutional.
There are multiple phones here. So
I'm not hiding anything from you. I just want directions. I want to be able to call my family. No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You are doing something that's unconstitutional. You can award have it. Thank you.
So we're going to hold on to this. We are applying.
But why? You don't even have a warrant yet. I just want directions. I want directions. I don't know. I want to get. Oh, wow. That's all I want. That's the call. You can. It's not about the phone or the number. That's the call.
So teacher, at this point,
We got you for phone recording. At this point, we're going to be held, so we can do a search for it. So we're going to take the name of it, put it there. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna hold you here until we get that search.
Do I have to sit in the room?
Yes.
Do I have to like stay at the door? I mean, I've been shut up in here, ma'am, and I've been nothing but respectful to you.
sure, and I'm.
I just, it's your, can I speak to you too? I don't care that you had the phone. You took it out of my hand, and that was very disrespectful. If you would have just asked me for it, I would have given that to you. I would have said sure. But it was the way that you did it. Okay,
So that was my thing with you on that. And then all I'm saying is, we'll have to be trapped in a room.
So, Keisha, I understand that, and I hear what you're saying about feeling disrespected about the phone being taken, and that was disrespect.
Okay.
Right? And I'm sure that, I'm not letting him speak right now, but I'm sure if I did, he would say that he is sorry for making you feel disrespected.
That's fine.
Okay. At this point, I'm being told that you have to stay, and this is where we have to keep you. Okay. This is going to be the most comfortable environment.
Okay.
Okay. Because like there's a couch and whatever else, or other interview room.
What was he saying? Pay for what now?
Getting search warrant.
We're getting drunk for phone.
For you.
For me, what is needed?
Because you've given us multiple different stories.
Oh, you're talking about like the thing we said about it.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, okay, I got it. I see what you're saying. I got it.
Because at this point, you have evidence potentially on your body.
I got it.
Right?
I'm sorry. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Can I at least like go to the bathroom and like, no, wipe off? No, I can't see nothing.
I can tell you that a forensic nurse examiner is accustomed to.
So, yeah,
We're not telling you can't go to the bathroom. Okay, what we're telling you is that you can't go into the bathroom.
No, I had to like,
Hold up. And I've offered you the opportunity multiple times to go to the bathroom.
I know, but I wanted to continue.
So hold on. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay.
You can take whatever you want from my body.
Right. We're not saying that you can't go urinate or defecate if that's what you need to do.
Okay.
What we're telling you that we can't allow to have happen is you go in there and get paper towels and begin wiping possible evidence off of your body.
Do you want to watch me?
we will get back with you and we'll get you to a bathroom here in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay?
So just have a seat for us and we'll be back with you.
You just watch me. What about like a older drink or something? I don't know. Hot meal? Mm-hmm.
So you need a colder bottle of water or a Gatorade?
Are you taking my drink? What in the world? Am I able to make a phone call? Can I make a phone call? You said I could use the phone.
Yeah. I told you I'm going to do that. But we're not asking you questions.
I'm not allowed to make a phone call.
I'm not asking you.
I have a right to.
Okay, so things have changed since I made that statement to you.
What?
Okay, and so that is at this point in time,
I just want to know why.
you're no longer.
You're being-
Please let me explain to
Okay,
you.
I'm sorry.
Things have changed. Initially, you were free to leave.
Right.
And, you could stop answering questions.
Right.
Whenever you wish, et cetera, et cetera. Now,
Okay.
through the course of the investigation, we have reason to believe that you potentially have evidence on your body, and we're applying for a search warrant.
So basically, that's what it was.
You're
You
not
wanted to escort me there.
free to leave.
Didn't want to be escorted there. Basically, I'm not stupid. I'm very.
We know you are. We know
Okay.
you're very educated. So, and then somebody who's very educated, we're trying to get you to cooperate with it.
So we are going to apply for the search warrant.
I know. I said, could she just take me over there?
Here's the thing, because you've already said that you didn't want us to do that, now we have to go through the process of getting a search warrant because you've already declined that
I
option.
understand.
So it's gonna take a little bit longer,
Okay.
and right now I need you to have a seat on the couch.
But I cannot call him back. I can't call him.
Right now, you're being held 6 foot.
Okay. Can you do those questions then while we have the time, or you said something about you had questions?
You've already asked for an attorney.
No, I
was out in the hallway. You said, do I need to call an attorney? I'd like to make a phone call and all that stuff. So here's the thing. I don't want to get into all of that. Any other questions? Because you've already said.
I was saying for attorney to ask them, am I?
I know, and the thing is, I do not want it to be misinterpreted in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Okay? So we're gonna hold off right now,
So you're saying you don't have those questions asked me while we were sitting
not at this point in time. Okay, if something changes, I will let you know.
Okay.
Is it place? All right, we'll take our evening break. If we can have all of you, where you need to be on Friday morning, we should be able to start on time at that point. Again, don't discuss the case among yourself, don't discuss the case with anyone else. And research about any aspect of this case. Enjoy tomorrow, see if you can get some sunshine, and then we'll see you on Friday morning, 9 o'clock. All rise for the jury, please. If you may all be seated, record should reflect the jury has left the courtroom. Is there anything we need to take up outside the presence of the jury at this point in time?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
That's it.
Okay. All right, as I said, my docket tomorrow is virtual, so you can leave everything here. There's not gonna be anybody else here except for myself and Mr. Sproul. So, you can leave everything here if you want. It's up to
Okay.
you. If there's something that you wanna lock up, let us know. We can put it in the evidence closet.
Thank you, Judge.
And get out of here. So, see.
All rise.